All right. Hello, all. So, welcome to today's muster. Myself, Swayam. I have been part of Must since 2015, early days, and it's been a transformational journey so far. And it was the Must from where I first learned what is data science and what is this field all about, and get really passionate about doing and getting involved in this. And currently, I work as a senior data scientist with Indegene, where we work on healthcare data and bring about modern medical transformations. And apart from this, I have a passion for making robots. And today, we'll see and talk about what is Saint and how we use Saint to combat COVID-19. So let's get started. All right. Okay. So as we see that, what is Saint? So Saint is a scalable, autonomous, intelligent navigation transporter, right? So basically, what it does is it's nothing but it's an open AI platform, which is built to adopt the new normal life, right? So as we understand that the life post COVID will not be same as it was used to be, right? And we'll have more things getting done digitally and remotely, and that's where you will see that lots of initiatives are being taken by the government towards transforming digital India and using Make in India products. And here, that's what Saint is coming into the picture, where it helps officials to serve their purpose, right? So if you see what Saint is, so basically Saint is a platform where it gives you a capability, or a machine having a capability to navigate autonomously, right? So so on the left hand side, you can see the prototype, its initial prototype, early days, right? So let me play this around. So this is the bot initial prototype. So this is being built using the inside it, right? So what it is? So basically, it's the map of an environment it generates, and it also identifies the obstacle within it, right? So ultimately, the purpose of the robot is to navigate from point A to B autonomously. Okay, so it uses LiDAR here for the initial prototype. And here is the final prototype you can see on the right hand side. So here, a few enhancements, what you are seeing with respect to the initial prototype here is that in the final prototype, we have used mecanum wheels, which gives around 8 degrees of freedom. Apart from it, we have a 3D camera attached to it in addition to the LiDAR. Okay, so let me just play this. So what is happening here is that it is wandering initially to create the map of the environment, right? So you can see this on the left hand side, it generates a map like this of its environment. So it understands where it is and what's the obstacles and things present around it. So it generates the map by moving autonomously. And here you can see in the front, it has an IR sensors. So it can, while navigating, it can avoid the obstacles also dynamically. And so here, what I'm doing, I'm giving it a location, a pathway. So I'm deciding it, go towards a point A. And it is finding its shortest best path to reach to the destination. Okay, so you can see here, right? On the right hand side. So it is just finding its way around. And now I'm calling it back. So it responds as per the direction you give on the map. Okay, so basically you can see on the top, it has a 3D camera attached to it. So basically, initially we did prototype just using the LiDAR and observed that the calibration was not well achieved in the real world scenarios. So 3D camera gives us a better calibration in terms of two things, right? So one, it gives you the depth of its object nearby, and also it tracks its trajectory. So it gives you a better momentum for the pathway to follow. And moving forward, this Saint robot is being currently used by Chennai Police, and they have named it a RoboCop LD version 5, because what I can come to know is that they have already tried few more robots previously with them. So this was a fifth robot, so they have named it version 5. And basically, they Chennai Police is using it currently to do the vigilance and crowd deterrent of the contaminated zones. And this image you can see on the right hand side was during the initial trials with Chennai Police, where you can see it's a four-wheel driving system. And what feedback we got from the police department was that they were more interested in manual navigation rather than being autonomous. So what we did, we designed a handheld device which gave a range of around a kilometer. Any officials can very conveniently get trained and use the robot, right? It's a very simple. I'll show you further how the device and control looks like. And then also, as you can see, it has a white color top camera attached to it, which acts as a sensor and does the surveillance purpose. And also it has a siren attached to it, right? So for alarming the crowd. And as we understand, right, so this robot is meant to be run on Indian roads. So there are lots of uneven pathways and potholes in the road. So tackle that scenario, it has a suspension mechanism to have a clearance for the rugged and uneven roads. And most importantly, as we all see, right, so if you remember back days, if you had to travel to an other city just to attend a meeting, right? And now the things getting digital, you do the same thing via saying a Zoom, right? So we are doing a muster here in Zoom. So likewise, the idea was to also make officials do work from home, right? Why do police need to take risk and go to the contaminated zones and have a chance of getting, and we are seeing lots of scenarios, right? Lots of cases where people are getting contaminated and the risk factor is high. So the purpose here was also to give a capability of two-way video communication, right? So the people, so the police can have a communication to the crowd, and it has a screen attached to it where they can display the messages, whatever they want to show or announce. And as an additional, it has a payload capacity of 100 kg, right? So the robot can carry a human to say around 70 to 80 kg and make him evacuate in any case of such emergency if aroused. So to talk more about it, let's look at the component which gives life to the robot. So basically it has a Jetson TX2 on top of it. So it is where all the edge computing is happening. So basically all the AI sits on the device itself. And we have a transmitter and receiver which gives wireless connectivity and control to access and control the robot. And it has motor drivers, of course, so we understand, right? So our all microcontrollers and processors have an input of say 5 volts, and our computers have 9 to 12 volts depending on the system GPU. And our motor drivers have a different range to configure. So we need a motor driver to draw the required source. And the motors are attached with encoders to get the odometry data. So this odometry data is better used for the calibration of the motion of the wheels. And it has a chassis, right? So you can see on the right hand here, this image, if I can use the marker. So this image, you can see a chassis here, right? So the chassis was suggested by the Chennai Police Department, where they wanted it in such a way that a person can sit on top of it, and yet they can run the robot, right? So that's why we have this a chair kind of a thing, L-shaped chassis, and it has a sensors attached to it. So it has an IR sensor which detects any obstacles, right? Infrared sensor attached to it. And then it has an IMU which draws the trajectory and its orientation of the robot. Then we have camera and mic, which does the general purpose of capturing video and audio. And we have the screen and speaker attached to it, which acts more as what we say as an actuators, right? So as an intelligent machine, we need to have an sensors acting as an input and then some actuator where you see an output, right? And the robot is software stack is built open source. So we have ROS where all the navigation control is being happening, and Python acts an intermediate to control between the robot and between the robot four-wheel drive mechanism and the AI functionality. So it's built on open source. To talk more about this robot, the key functionality what this robot brings is in terms of social distancing, right? So as we understand that the purpose of this robot is crowd vigilance and deterrent. So how it does that? So it moves around the area to vigilate the social distancing measures. So it will navigate into the contaminated zones. We'll look further into the demos. So it will navigate further into the contaminated zones and monitor the people if they are maintaining the social distancing, right? And if they fail to maintain, it sends an it activates the siren and sends an push notification back to the police. So basically, how this social distancing work, if I have to explain you, in backside, it has an algorithm which initially uses an object detection model to identify humans in the frame, right? So if you look into this picture, you can see there are few humans and there is a frame detecting box around that. So that is what object detection models helps you to recognize humans in the frame. Then we have used a distance metric to identify the distance between two detected boxes, right? So here you can see using the midpoint of the each detection box, we find the distance between the humans. And if the distance between humans is say less than 200 centimeters, we activate the siren and say that the social distancing is violated. So likewise, the system operates in real time and monitors the social behavior. Apart from this, the robot is also equipped with basic functionalities, right? So you can do face recognition, object recognition. It can count numbers of people in the crowd, and also it has the capability of Indian number plate recognition. So you can say for a given area, what are the authorized and unauthorized vehicle running in the streets. You will be able to find out. Here I have put a clip of the object detection model running. So if you see here, it's capable enough to identify any objects in the real time. And then based on your intent, you can make the robot perform the desired actions. Okay, so you can see in the real time, it is moving along and identifying all the objects nearby around to it. So these are the basic functionalities what the robot carries. Now let's have a look into the demo video of the successful trial with the police. So this is the robot which is being controlled. So now they are using this robot for a contaminated zone in Chennai. So police is making an announcement in the area. Okay, so here you see in the trial, what they did was that they made the robot to go inside a contaminated zone in Chennai, and they were using a wireless handheld device to check what's the control and situation in that area. And they were making announcement that people has to stay home and stay safe in Tamil. So basically, it has a two-way communication through which police can talk to the crowd and to crowd on the other side convey the message back to the police. Right, and the saint also got noticed in various local newspapers because of its successful trials, and is now currently being running in Mylapore area in Chennai. to help police with the locals and monitor and enforce the lockdown and the preventive measures. With this, we have also started to prototype the second version of Saint, right? So on the left hand side, you can see a more compact version. And on the right hand side, you are seeing the finalized product, what it will look like. And we are currently working with Chennai Police to optimize this. And we'll share the video shortly as this development is completed. And with this, I would like to also take some time and introduce to you our favorite Musty. So this Musty was developed by the team here in Must last year. And this came with a vision from Joy sir, where we wanted to have a capability where any Mustan can do a research on robotics and focus more on the intelligence, right? So as we see here, as we see that the industry is moving fast, and especially with the adoption of IoT 4.0 and the adoption of Tiny ML, right? So Tiny ML is nothing but using your controllers and small devices and running and burning your AI algorithms on top of it so that inference can be made at the edge level, right? So of course, generally how we do in enterprise or in our companies that we use cloud-based systems, and then we have an API mechanism through which we send or retrieve the data to the model. But in the embedded intelligence space, the whole idea revolves around making the inference at the device with an efficient run. So that's where Musty comes into the picture, and you will have it seen. You can see it as an open platform for research with semi-autonomous capabilities. So it can be either controlled through your laptop or wirelessly through your phone, where you can give commands to it. And it has various sensors attached to it. So you can see it has a camera on top of it. So what it does is that it will track you. So as you move along or change your path, the robot will track and follow you. And since it's a humanoid, so it's made up of servos. So here we have used 12 servo motors, giving him a capability of 12 degrees of freedom. So it can very efficiently, say, climb a stair, right, or jump or run, right? As we see a two-legged robot getting performed by Boston Dynamics. So it has such capabilities, giving around 12 degrees of freedom, and it has built-in microphone and speaker, right? So these are the very basic components you need at a humanoid level to make it societal. So basically what it does is that, say you are meeting Musty for the first time, and you ask Musty, what is the capital of India, right? And say Musty tells, I don't know. So you tell him, hey Musty, the capital of India is Delhi, right? And the next time if you or anyone asks, what is the capital of India? It will say it's Delhi, because it learns from your conversation and improves and adapt to it. So it has such capability running on the device level, right? And apart from that, it has a 2D camera, which acts as a vision, and we generally use it for recognizing anything which is for your interest, say maybe it a shape, an object, or a human, right? So overall, it gives you a capability to try out various things which you are interested or passionate about in the field of AI and embedded intelligence, and see how it works, right? So with this, I believe I have come to the end of the presentation I wanted to show, but I'm open for the discussion. So let's have it.